I'm happy to discuss regarding the KSM dependency and resilience about in pharma sector. So now pharmaceutical companies facing a lot of issues to by procuring raw materials from other sources. So here, I would like to key starting materials or KSMs, often discussed as a procurement or sourcing issues. But today, I would like to look at KSM from much broader perspectives. It can affect the API manufacturing or process and production schedules, inventories, and of course regulatory commitments. And end of that, all these, ultimately, patient will affect. So to timely delivery of drugs. So let's move ahead. So why the KSM resilience is now the boardroom issues? In any most of the companies nowadays facing the concern how we ensure the timely delivery of KSMs and cost effective. That should be cost effective. So supply and continuity is like a procurement. It's not a like procurement issue. In general, in pharma company, most of the time, if the raw material is not available on time, then we directly blame to procurement team. So it's not an issue. Basically, it's like come like four like as per my understanding, it's coming like four points like geographical shocks. So nowadays, we know that all countries are facing trade restrictions, sanctions. As we know, Trump always every morning many applied some tariffs, sanctions like that. So that regional disruptions and second is concentration risk. So, and there's another is the concentration. If the critical KSM come from the one geography, one manufacturing, or even the one upstream precursor source, then the apparent efficiency of that supply chain can console the significant systematic risk. So, avoid such. And third is quality and compliance. Each and every time we face that supply changes triggering qualifications and patient impact, of course. So how do we buy cheaper, or how do we design and supply system that can be absorbed shocks? So another point, the hidden architecture of pharmaceutical dependency.
Sorry to
It looks
disturb you. The PPT is not moving.
sorry. Yeah,
PPT
it's
is not
moving.
moving.
I think it's from my side is moving. It's fine.
Yes, now it is fine.
May I move forward, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Now you can continue.
Yeah. So next point is like the hidden architecture of pharmaceutical dependency. Yeah, let's look at how the dependency actually develops. Why we typically see the chain that the moves from the raw materials, intermediate KSM, APIs, formulation, and patients. So the for example, imagine that where we have a two approved supplier for a particular KSM. At the first glance, that looks like dual sourcing. But what if the supplier purchase the same critical precursor from the same manufacturer? Suddenly, the dual sourcing strategy is actually like single point of dependency, like hidden without two supplier names. So this leads us like an important principle like supply diversification is not necessary, and the same as the supply chain diversifications. So key question: do we know the critical dependency beyond our restricted direct suppliers? Next, like the traditional model, efficient but fragile. Old model that or the most of the efficient systems under normal conditions may not be the most resilient system under the abnormal conditions, but it work. But global sourcing issues, as we know, like a lot of restrictions are there, and efficiently to without any option and become fragility, we like traditional to move advanced system resilient. Next, so design a principle to build the optionality into the ecosystem. The resilience is the ability to absorb, adapt, and recover without compromising quality. Quality, each and everybody, each and every pharmaceutical company focus on quality now. So because if we produce a quality product, then sale and our like business growth definitely enhance. So, knowing that a supplier is likely to fail and acting before that failure occurs to as a, like resilience, and a resilient supply chain is not that never experience disruptions. So we it is like it is one that can be absorbed disruption, adopt, and it is and recover quickly. So there is a three parameters: diversify, decouple, and digitize. It's a D3 rule. Diversify, that there should be the geographical supplies, route and technologies. We work on different technologies we have to do, and decouple, like buffer stocks in warehouses, keep the sourcing continue and stock maintaining, and digitize like data. Most of the suppliers have the data of the raw materials and the understanding and the scenarios like in the next. The resilience start with the KSM criticality map. Where do we start? Each and every because not every KSM requires the same level of investment, and don't treat like every KSM like equally, because we cannot sell KSM 1, 2, 3, suppose in an annuity. So then we cannot treat every KSM as the same environment. So we have to evaluate like supply concentration, lead time, qualification time, the way. And so beyond that, the sourcing, build a multi-node KSM network. This is this brings us the concept of multi-node network. The goal is therefore like multiple viable and qualified pathways. Suppose we have a source A, source B, and a source C and D. If source A and B have upstream precursor have the same vendor, and the source C and D have this different upstream precursor different source, then it's like resilient actor, it will work. So it will not stop supply or will not be stopped. And geographical matters now, it's important. So but uh, there, the true resilience combine the location, ownership, technologies, utility, and logistics. So geographical diversification has become an important part of pharmaceutical supply chain strategies. So India, China, US, Europe, and other countries have all that for supply and import and export purpose countries. And important part is ownership. So independent integrated system we have to develop, and we have to focus on technologies, route one, route two, and alternate processes, and logistic systems. We cannot depend on one or two systems. We have to think about many alternatives like sea, air, road, rail, and buffer stocks. And so diversification should reduce correlated failures. So next is a quality and regulatory agility, the missing half of the resilience. Now we come to one of the most important aspect of pharmaceutical supply chain resilience, quality, and regulatory readiness. Now, regulatory bodies are way too strict. They ask each and every data, and they ask multiple aspects. So, regulatory body to satisfy the regulatory bodies, we need to work with the suppliers deeply, generate data, so avoid any kind of risk, and we find the alternative source also, and we have to avoid dealing to ready analytical package, and qualification, vendors qualification, and regulatory assessment on time. So this will lead us in a to lead us to in a resilient behavior. So it will avoid some failures. And time to quality, important part for that, like supply that exists on paper is not yet a resilience asset. Many suppliers, during my visit, I saw many suppliers on paper are very strong, but on practical manner, they are not that much on paper. So this is an important aspect. So we have to be resilient, and we have to be understand how we should ensure the paperwork and practicalities. So the digital visibility also the important part now. So the next transformation is digital. As we know, everybody is moving in this direction. So most of the organization already have the enormous amount of supply data, like KSM risk index, like single source, qualification time, buffer. Already we mentioned that. So it's a very important part. We have to be like move from the static supply list to the live list pictures. We understand the supply data and or like uh, digital intelligence. In the resilience cockpit, the five dimensions, as per my understanding, what I understand with resilience, like resilience cockpit, like it's a five pillars: supply, quality, and regulatory, commercial, and risk. So avoid any kind of risk. We have to be vigilant about these all five aspects. So this may make it resilient environment. It's a 90 days resilience roadmap. As we know, like we decide like how so we have like move for the concept on to action. We decide some roadmap to make it a resilience, like a 0 to 30 days, like map and prioritize, and then the design option, then activate all the design activate what we have designed to make it a resilience. And next, like what should be the measure, like time and time to quality, and time for recovery and consideration, optionally visual, buffer reactive effectiveness for the how fast we can alternate source and become the unstoppable side. And the five shifts that reinvent the KSM ecosystems, like from single source to portfolio resilience, tier one to multiple tier intelligence, supply count, qualified pathways, and reactive and scenarios, and procurement led to the cross-functional ownership also. So the KSM ecosystem become a strategic capabilities rather than the simply a purchasing activity. So leadership decision where to invest first. Of course, resilience required investment. The question where we should be invest first so that I protect critical KSMs. Number one, like number two, that I create ecosystem partnerships with the small manufacturers, institutionalization, yeah, do the partnership with the institutions for the small activities and government reliance bodies. And let me close with one thought. The objective is not to eliminate dependency. In global pharmaceutical ecosystem, some level of dependency will always exist. The objective is to make the dependency visible, optionality, agility, and quality. So all the four parameters will make it uh, less like a level of dependency that reduce the dependency level, but some dependency always be exist in the system. So thank you so much.